What is going on, everybody? Quancredible here to bring you the review for Black Clover episode 153. And with this episode, it was what I expected, but I didn't expect some of what we got in terms of the ranks. But I'll go into that like on the second half. I'll talk about the beginning half first because it's really short. The whole beginning of the episode was basically them just figuring out who was going to go to the Heart Kingdom. And obviously, I never spoil the manga in these anime reviews, but in the manga, it kind of just gave us a glimpse of kind of who was going, but we didn't know for certain. Whereas the anime really filled it in really well on who exactly is going, which I enjoyed a lot. Or not necessarily enjoyed a lot, but like I really did appreciate that they said, okay, I'm going to nominate Asta, Nero, Noel, so and so and so on, and I'm nominating Mimosa, so and so. Like I really liked how it went. Also, another thing that never got cleared up in the manga that's getting cleared up here is that Yuno declined to go. Whereas in the manga, we never really knew. Like, we kind of just assumed that, like, maybe they didn't tell Yuno, or maybe Yuno didn't know about it, or we never really had a reason. So the anime just to straight up say that Yuno declined to go. Again, like I said last week, that's perfect for the anime. It's good for just to fill in little blanks like that. So we just see that Yuno flat out just was like, nah, I'm good. And as we know about Yuno's character and Yuno's personality, he likes to do things on his own. Like, he likes to find his own way. So I mean, it makes sense. It fits within Yuno's character that he would just be like, nah, I'm good, and just want to do his own thing, which is totally fine. Because I mean, even Yami said it very well in this chapter. It's not about where you train, it's about how you train, which is the biggest thing. I mean, heck, Marileona and Fuegoleon are the prime two examples. One got high tutoring and teaching from Teresa to, become as powerful as they are. The other one just went off in the wild and did whatever they wanted, both of which are roughly around the same amount of strength. So it's all about how you train, not necessarily where, and I 100% agree with that. In the second half, we got was an award ceremony showing us how ranks change based off of, their performance during the Eye of Midnight Sun attack on the capital, which was very interesting because in the manga we kind of never really knew whose rank changed. Like, the only person whose rank we knew changed for a fact was Yuno's. That's the only one that they told us. They never told us about everyone else's rank that changed. So it's cool to see that Soul, Leo, Mimosa all got changes to their ranks. Now, which is really interesting to me is we also see, like, we got to see how many stars they got awarded as well as their rank change. And it was kind of unfortunate that none of the Black Bulls got to, get their rank changed. And I understand with the whole mess with the whole trial and Asta and, like, them breaking into the parliament to stop the trial definitely made everything way more complicated than it probably needed to be. I do kind of think, in my own opinion, had the Black Bulls not rushed in there, I do think that the rest of them would have gotten their awards, like their actual awards. I mean, outside of Asta and Nero, obviously. But I do think, like, say Noel, who was a big factor in it, say Zora, who was more of a major-ish factor, Charmy, who was a pretty decently sized factor. I do think that these people would have also gotten their awards and recognition had they not been a part of that. But kind of based off of what Soul, Mimosa, Leo, and Yuno got, we can kind of base off what they would have got too, which is kind of one thing I want to, like, kind of play around with and just think about. Now, but before I get into that, Yuno earning 77 stars for his performance, like, in the whole invasion is insane. 77 stars is a lot of stars, yo. Like, that is an insane amount of stars. Like, the freaking it was funny because Real was like, wait, how many stars did my entire squad earn last year? And I went back and looked it up, and Real's squad only earned 49 stars at that last Star Festival. So by himself earned more stars than Real's whole squad did last year, which is funny. The even funnier part is with 77 stars, that puts him over the Crimson Lions. Like, I went back and looked at all of the star amounts, but the Crimson Lions, who came in 5th place, earned 76 stars at the last Star Festival. That means with the 77 earned more than the whole Crimson. Like, by himself would have came in 5th place at that last Star Festival, which is insane to me. That makes no sense. They gave him a crazy amount of stars, in addition to promoting him to first class Senior Magic Knight, which is the same rank as vice captains like Langris and Kirsch, for anyone who was curious on that. Now, what I was just talking about previously obviously with like kind of relating where the Black Bulls would be had they gotten their promotions, in my opinion. So like like the note from Julius had said, everyone that participated is going up a rank. So kind of like the people that played a part but not necessarily a major part, I would consider those people to be like Gauche, who was turned into an elf who had to be turned back and then participated afterwards. People like Gray and Gordon, Henry, Vanessa, those like Luck, like the people who were there and participated but didn't necessarily do a ton in comparison to some of the other major players. Those people will probably be in the same boat of getting like just a singular rank. I can understand that some people may think that some of them like maybe deserve a bit higher, but I honestly can't really think of a main justification for that. As far as the people that should probably really rank up and receive a lot more of the recognition would be Charmy, Zora, Noelle, obviously, Nero, Asta, I want to say that's it, and Finral. I guess Finral to a degree. Like you could really put like Finral would probably be around where Leo would be with like being a 4th or 3rd class senior Magic Knight, whereas Charmy might actually be able to make it to that 3rd or 2nd. Noelle probably would be a bit higher than Mimosa with like around probably like Noelle and Charmy would probably make it to that like maybe in between that 5th and 3rd class senior Magic Knight, which is really high. And Asta most definitely should have earned it the same amount of as if not even more than depending on how you look at it, because granted he did deal the final blow, but at the same time you could look at it as he would have never got the final blow without so it's like it's one of the ones where you could make an argument for them getting the same amount, or you can make the argument for Asta getting more, I suppose. So Asta for sure would have gotten the same rank as had this whole trial thing not been going on, which is really interesting to think about. And I kind of like this idea of them rewarding them with stars after all this, because a lot of times we see in shonen that people's ranks aren't necessarily a good representation of how strong they are, such as like in Naruto, how they were like getting through like all of part 1, even though they were like beating Chunin and Jonin threats. It always felt kind of weird in that aspect. So it's kind of cool to see that at the end of the Eye of Midnight Sun, that our main cast as well as the supporting cast is getting ranked up to kind of support how strong they are. I really do enjoy that a lot. So as far as the ranks go, let me know what you guys think. Like maybe if you disagree or if you do agree with my rankings, if you think somebody should be possibly a little bit higher, if you think Noelle should have got 1st class senior Magic Knight as well, I want to hear about that down below if you guys have opinions on that one. And that's kind of like what the episode is. We did get to see in the previews that it's like a Langris episode for next week. It looks like it's Langris fighting at some point in the previews that would have looked. So like I don't know if this is like, because like at the very end of this episode we get to see Langris is like spying on so I don't know if they like fight, or even maybe because they're both the same rank, maybe they're going to fight for the title of vice captain. Like I'm not for sure exactly how it's going to play out, because like obviously as a manga reader I know how everything is in the future, but like I said, this is filling in the gap, so I don't know what exactly they could be getting at in this next episode. So I'm really excited to see, because I love the whole Golden Dawn squad, so anything that has more of them in it, I'm going to be pumped. So let me know what you guys think is going to happen next week down below. Let me know how you guys feel about the episode. Honestly, the episode in itself wasn't super crazy. It was just a neat episode, so it's about 6 out of 10, some light. So let me know what you guys think about the episode down below and all the other things that I mentioned before. Make sure you guys like the video, so sub to the channel for more Black Clover content. All the support is greatly appreciated, and also if I don't say it enough, I really do appreciate you guys for checking out my stuff every week. So outside of that, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you in my next video.